Lists of State Veterans Administration Offices. Chapter 1. State, Commonwealth, and Territorial Veterans Affairs Offices. A list of Veterans Administration Regional Benefit Offices at benefits.va.gov/vso/vero.asp. Alabama. Montgomery Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/montgomery/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Montgomery Regional Benefit Office. Alaska. Anchorage Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/anchorage/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Anchorage Regional Benefit Office. Arizona. Phoenix Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/phoenix/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Phoenix Regional Benefit Office. Arkansas. Little Rock Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/littlerock/veterans-services-orgs.asp, North Little Rock Regional Benefit Office. California. Los Angeles Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Los Angeles/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Los Angeles Regional Benefit Office. Oakland Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/oakland/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Oakland Regional Benefit Office. San Diego Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/San Diego/veterans-services-orgs.asp, San Diego Regional Benefit Office. Colorado. Denver Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Denver/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Denver Regional Benefit Office. Connecticut. Hartford Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Hartford/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Hartford Regional Benefit Office. Delaware. Wilmington Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Wilmington/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Wilmington Regional Benefit Office. District of Columbia. Washington Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Washington/veterans-services-orgs.asp, National Capital Regional Benefit Office. Florida. St. Petersburg Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/St. Petersburg/veterans-services-orgs.asp, St. Petersburg Regional Benefit Office. Georgia. Atlanta Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Atlanta/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Atlanta Regional Benefit Office. Hawaii. Honolulu Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Honolulu/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Honolulu Regional Benefit Office. Idaho. Boise Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Boise/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Boise Regional Benefit Office. Iowa. Des Moines Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Des Moines/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Des Moines Regional Benefit Office. Illinois. Chicago Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Chicago/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Chicago Regional Benefit Office. Indiana. Indianapolis Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Indianapolis/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Indianapolis Regional Benefit Office. Kansas. Wichita Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Wichita/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Wichita Regional Benefit Office. Kentucky. Louisville Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Louisville/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Louisville Regional Benefit Office. Louisiana. New Orleans Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/New Orleans/veterans-services-orgs.asp, New Orleans Regional Benefit Office. Maine. Togus Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/togus/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Togus Regional Benefit Office. Maryland. Baltimore Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/baltimore/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Baltimore Regional Benefit Office. Massachusetts. Boston Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/boston/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Boston Regional Benefit Office. Michigan. Detroit Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/detroit/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Detroit Regional Benefit Office. Minnesota. St. Paul Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/stpaul/veterans-services-orgs.asp, St. Paul Regional Benefit Office. Mississippi. Jackson Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/jackson/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Jackson Regional Benefit Office. Missouri. St. Louis Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/St. Louis/veterans-services-orgs.asp, St. Louis Regional Benefit Office. Montana. Fort Harrison Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Fort Harrison/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Fort Harrison Regional Benefit Office. Nebraska. Lincoln Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Lincoln/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Lincoln Regional Benefit Office. Nevada. Reno Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Reno/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Reno Regional Benefit Office. New Hampshire. Manchester Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Manchester/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Manchester Regional Benefit Office. New Jersey. Newark Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Newark/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Newark Regional Benefit Office. New Mexico. Albuquerque Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Albuquerque/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Albuquerque Regional Benefit Office. New York. Buffalo Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/buffalo/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Buffalo Regional Benefit Office. New York Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/New York/veterans-services-orgs.asp, New York Regional Benefit Office. North Carolina. Winston-Salem Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Winston-Salem/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Winston-Salem Regional Benefit Office. North Dakota. Fargo Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Fargo/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Fargo Regional Benefit Office. Ohio. Cleveland Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Cleveland/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Cleveland Regional Benefit Office. Oklahoma. Muskogee Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Muskogee/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Muskogee Regional Benefit Office. Oregon. Portland Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Portland/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Portland Regional Benefit Office. Pennsylvania. Philadelphia Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Philadelphia/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Philadelphia Regional Benefit Office. Pittsburgh Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Pittsburgh/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Pittsburgh Regional Benefit Office. Philippines. Manila Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Manila/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Manila Regional Benefit Office. Puerto Rico. San Juan Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/San Juan/veterans-services-orgs.asp, San Juan Regional Benefit Office. San Juan en Español Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/San Juan's-P/veterans-services-orgs-sp.asp, San Juan Regional Benefit Office en Espa and en tilde, OL. Rhode Island. Providence Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Providence-veterans-services-orgs.asp, Providence Regional Benefit Office. South Carolina. Columbia Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Columbia/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Columbia Regional Benefit Office. South Dakota. Sioux Falls Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Sioux Falls/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Sioux Falls Regional Benefit Office. Tennessee. Nashville Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Nashville/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Nashville Regional Benefit Office. Texas. Houston Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Houston/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Houston Regional Benefit Office. Waco Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Waco/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Waco Regional Benefit Office. Utah. Salt Lake City Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/saltlakecity/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Salt Lake City Regional Benefit Office. Virginia. Roanoke Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Roanoke/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Roanoke Regional Benefit Office. Vermont. White River Junction Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/White River Junction/veterans-services-orgs.asp, White River Junction Regional Benefit Office. Washington. Seattle Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Seattle/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Seattle Regional Benefit Office. Wisconsin. Milwaukee Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Milwaukee/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Milwaukee Regional Benefit Office. West Virginia. Huntington Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Huntington/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Huntington Regional Benefit Office. Wyoming. Cheyenne Regional Benefit Office. benefits.va.gov/Cheyenne/veterans-services-orgs.asp, Cheyenne Regional Benefit Office. National Association of State Directors of Veterans Affairs. NASTVA Incorporate. 107 Southwest Street, Suite 570. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. NASDVA.net. State Directors of Veterans Affairs. Alabama. Department of Veterans Affairs. RSA Plaza, 770 Washington Avenue, Suite 470. Montgomery, Alabama 36130-2755. 334-242-5077. Fax, 334-242-5102. va.alabama.gov. Alaska. Division of Veterans Affairs. Alaska Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. 4600 DeBar Road, Suite 180. Anchorage, Alaska 99508. 888-248-3682. Maine, 907-334-0874. Desk, 907-334-0870. Fax, 907-334-0869. Alaska.gov. Arizona. Arizona Department of Veterans Services. 3839 North 3rd Street Suite 200. Phoenix, Arizona 85012. 602-255-3373. Fax, 602-255-1038. tvoked at azdvs.gov. azdvs.gov. Arkansas. Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs. 2200 Fort Roots Drive. Building 65, Room 119. North Little Rock, Arkansas 72114. 501-370-3820. Fax, 501-370-3829. Arkansas.gov. California. California Department of Veterans Affairs. 1227 O Street, Room 300. Sacramento, California 95814. 916-653-2158. Fax, 916-653-2456. 916-653-2192. Colorado. Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. Division of Veterans Affairs. 6848 South Revere Parkway. Centennial, Colorado 80112. 303-284-6077. Fax, 303-343-7238. dmvia.state.co.us. Connecticut. Connecticut Department of Veterans Affairs. 287 West Street. Rocky Hill, Connecticut 06067. 860-616-3603. Fax, 860-616-3532. ct.gov. Delaware. Delaware Commission of Veterans Affairs. Robbins Building. 802 Silver Lake Boulevard. Dover, Delaware 19904. In-state 800-344-9900. 302-739-2792. Fax, 302-739-2794. state.de.us. Florida. Florida Department of Veterans Affairs. 11351 Ulmerton Road RM311K. Largo, Florida 33778-1630. 727-518-3202 EXT 7710. Fax, 850-488-4001. fdva.state.fl.us. Georgia. Georgia Department of Veterans Affairs Services. Floyd Veterans Memorial Building. Suite E970. Atlanta, Georgia 30334-4800. Gave TSVC at vs.state.ga.us. 404-656-2300. Fax, 404-657-9738. vs.state.ga.us. 404-656-5933. Hawaii. Office of Veterans Services. Tripler Army Medical Center. 459 Patterson Road. E-Wing, Room 1A103. Honolulu, Hawaii 96819-1522. 808-433-0420. Fax, 808-433-0385. TTD/relay service, 1-711. OVS at ovs.hawaii.gov. dod.hawaii.gov/ovs. Idaho. Idaho Division of Veterans Services. 351 Collins Road. Boise, Idaho 83702. 208-577-2310. Fax, 208-577-2311. Veterans.idaho.gov. Illinois. Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs. Post Office Box 19432. 833 South Spring Street. Springfield, Illinois 62794-9432. 217-785-4114. Fax 217-524-0344. Illinois.gov. Indiana. Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. 302 West Washington Street. Room E120. Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. 317-232-3910. Fax 317-232-7721. Toll free, in state, 1-800-400-4520. dva.in.gov. Iowa. Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs. 7105 Northwest 70th Avenue. Johnston, Iowa 50131-1902. 515-242-5331. 1-800-838-4692. Fax 515-242-5659. Iowa.gov. Kansas. Kansas Commission on Veterans Affairs. Jayhawk Tower, Suite 701. 700 SW. Jackson Street. Topeka, Kansas 66603-3150. 785-296-3976. Fax 785-296-1462. kcva.ks.gov. Kentucky. Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs. 1111 Louisville Road. Frankfort, Kentucky 40601. 502-564-9203. Fax 502-564-9240. ky.gov. Louisiana. Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs. Post Office Box 94095, Capital Station. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70804-9095. 225-219-5001. Fax 225-219-5590. vetaffairs.la.gov. Maine. Bureau of Maine Veterans Services. State House Station Number 117. Augusta, Maine 04333-0117. 207-430-6035. Fax 207-626-4471. Cell 207-446-5006. Maine.gov. Maryland. Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs. The Jeffrey Building, 4th floor. 16 Francis Street. Annapolis, Maryland 21401. 410-260-3838. Fax 410-216-7928. mdva.state.md.us. secretary.mdva@maryland.gov. Massachusetts. Massachusetts Department of Veterans Services. 600 Washington Street, Room 1100. Boston, Massachusetts 02111. 617-210-5765. Fax 617-210-5755. state.ma.us. Michigan. Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency. Veterans Affairs. POB 30104. Lansing, Michigan 48909. 517-284-5298. Fax 517-241-0674. Cell 231-883-7066. Michigan.gov. Minnesota. Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans Service Building. 20 West 12th Street 2nd floor. St. Paul, Minnesota 55155. 651-757-1555. Fax, 651-757-1539. State.mn.us. Mississippi. Mississippi State Veterans Affairs Board. 3466 Highway 80 East. Post Office Box 5947. Pearl, Mississippi 39288-5947. 601-576-4850. Fax, 601-576-4868. vab.ms.gov. Missouri. Missouri Veterans Commission. Post Office Drawer 147. Jefferson City, Missouri 65102-0147. mvc.dps.mo.gov. Montana. Montana Veterans Affairs Division. Post Office Box 5715. Helena, Montana 59604. 406-324-3740. Fax, 406-324-3745. mt.gov. Nebraska. Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Post Office 95083. Lincoln, Nebraska 68509-5083. 402-471-2458. Fax, 402-471-2491. Nebraska.gov. Nevada. Nevada Office of Veterans Services. 5460 Reno Corporate Drive Suite 131. Reno, Nevada 89511. 775-688-1653, X21. 702-486-3828. Fax, 775-688-1656. Veterans.nv.gov. New Hampshire. New Hampshire Office of Veterans Services. 275 Chestnut Street. Manchester, New Hampshire 03101-2411. 603-624-9230, X302. Fax, 603-624-9236. vba.va.gov. New Jersey. New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. Egerts Crossing Road, POG 340. Trenton, New Jersey 08625-0340. 609-530-7045. Fax, 609-530-7075. New Jersey DMAVA.state.nj.us. New Mexico. New Mexico Department of Veterans Services. Post Office Box 2324. Santa Fe, New Mexico 87509-2324. 505-827-6334. Fax, 505-827-6372. Direct, 505-827-7365. State.nm.us. New York. New York State Division of Veterans Affairs. 5 Empire State Plaza Suite 2836. Albany, New York 12223-1551. 518-474-6114. Fax, 518-474-6924. Veterans.ny.gov. North Carolina. North Carolina Division of Veterans Affairs. Albemarle Building, Suite 1065. 325 North Salisbury Street. Raleigh, North Carolina 27603. 919-807-4250. Fax, 919-807-4260. va.gov. North Dakota. North Dakota Department of Veterans Affairs. 4201 38th Street Southwest. Suite 104. Fargo, North Dakota 58106-9003 701-239-7165. Fax 701-239-7166 1-866-634-8387. nd.gov. Ohio. Ohio Department of Veterans Services. 77 South High Street 17th floor. Columbus, Ohio 43215. 614-644-0898. Fax 614-728-9498. dvs.ohio.gov. Oklahoma. Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs. Post Office Box 53067. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73152. 405-521-3684. Fax 405-521-6533. odva.state.ok.us. Oregon. Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs. Oregon Veterans Building. 700 Summer Street, NE. Salem, Oregon 97310-1201. 503-373-2000 or 1-800-828-8801. odva.state.or.us. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. Fort Indian Town Gap, Building SO47. Annville, Pennsylvania 17003-5002. 717-861-8902. Fax 717-861-8589. pa.gov. Rhode Island. Rhode Island Department of Human Services. Division of Veterans Affairs. The State House. 82 Smith Street. Providence, Rhode Island 02903. 401-254-8350 or 401-254-8495. dhs.ri.gov. South Carolina. South Carolina Office of Veterans Affairs. 1205 Pendleton Street, Suite 369. Columbia, South Carolina 29201. 803-734-0200/0203. Fax 803-734-0197. oepp.sc.gov. South Dakota. South Dakota Department of Veterans Affairs. Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Building. 500 East Capitol Avenue. Pierre, South Dakota 57501-5070. 605-773-3518 or 3269. Fax 605-773-5380. state.sd.us. Tennessee. Tennessee Department of Veterans Affairs. 215 8th Avenue North. Nashville, Tennessee 37243-1010. 615-741-2930. Fax 615-741-4785. tn.gov. Texas. Texas Veterans Commission. Post Office Box 12277. Austin, Texas 78711-2277. 512-463-6564. Fax 512-475-2395. tvc.texas.gov. Utah. Utah Department of Veterans Affairs. 550 Foothill Boulevard, Room 202. Salt Lake City, Utah 84108. 801-326-2372. Fax 801-326-2369. 1-800-894-9497. utah.gov. Vermont. Vermont Office of Veterans Affairs. 118 State Street. Montpelier, Vermont 05620-4401. 802-828-3379. Fax, 802-828-5932. State.vt.us. Virginia. Virginia Department of Veterans Services. 900 East Main Street. 6th floor, West Wing, Pocahontas Building. Richmond, Virginia 23219. 804-786-0286. Fax, 804-786-0302. dvs.virginia.gov. Washington. Washington Department of Veterans Affairs. 1102 Quince St. Southeast. Post Office Box 41150 milliseconds, 1150. Olympia, Washington 98504-1150. 360-725-2152. Fax, 360-586-4393. dva.wa.gov. West Virginia. West Virginia Department of Veterans Affairs. 1321 Plaza East, Suite 101. Charleston, West Virginia 25301-1400. 304-558-3661. Fax, 304-558-3662. wv.gov. Wisconsin. Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs. 201 West Washington Avenue. Number 326. Madison, Wisconsin 53707. 608-266-1315. Fax, 608-264-7616. dva.wisconsin.gov. Wyoming. Wyoming Veterans Commission. 5410 Bishop Boulevard. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82009. 307-777-8151. Cell, 307-631-0812. Fax, 307-777-8150. wyo.gov. U.S. Territorial Veterans Affairs Offices. District of Columbia. Office of Veterans Affairs. District of Columbia. 441, 4th Street, NW, Suite 570 South. Washington, D.C. 20001. 202-724-5454. Fax, 202-724-7117. dc.gov. American Samoa Government. Office of the Governor. POG 1085. Pago Pago, American Samoa 96799. 684-633-4206 or 633-2911 or 633-2269, Office. Guam. Administrator. Guam Veterans Affairs Office. Office of the Governor. POG 2950. Hagatna, Guam 96932. 671-727-7248. Fax, 671-475-8396. ualawguam.com. Northern Mariana Islands. Office of the Governor. Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. POG 503416. Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands 96950. 670, 664-2650/2651. Fax, 670-664-2660. gov.mp. Puerto Rico. Public Advocate for Veterans Affairs. POG 11737. San Juan, Puerto Rico 00910-1737. 787-758-5760. Fax, 787-758-5788. Virgin Islands. Office of Veterans Affairs. 1013 Estate, Richmond. Christiansted, St. Croix. Virgin Islands 00820 340-773-6663. Fax 340-692-9563.